up? It's Richie here with Stat Fine Football. These are the prime time games for the final week of the college football season. Starting off with a big game nationally and for the Big 12 Bedlam. Oklahoma Sooners and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Oklahoma State is already assured of a spot in the Big 12 championship game. If Oklahoma wins, they are in. If Oklahoma loses and Baylor wins, Baylor is in. So this is a big game, and both teams could potentially find their way into the college football playoff. Oklahoma, they barely got past Iowa State 28-21. Caleb Williams was terrible passing. 8 of 18 for 87 yards, a touchdown, a pick. He did run for 67 yards and a touchdown. Kennedy Brooks ran for 115. Their defense, though, had 7 sacks, 3 turnovers, a fumble return touchdown, with Delarian Turner-Yell getting 11 tackles. Oklahoma State, they have won their games with defense. Normally, they are known for their offense, but this year their quarterback play has been very much subpar. Spencer Sanders kind of sucks, but they had a really great transfer from Utah State. Jalen Warren over 1,000 yards rushing. They blanked Texas Tech 23-0. Spencer Sanders 239, a touchdown, and ran for 48 yards and a touchdown. Tay Martin 7 catches, 130 yards. Defensively had 5 sacks, only allowed 108 total yards. Now, because of that defense and because Oklahoma has struggled, especially offensively as of late, I'm actually going to go Oklahoma State will win this game. It will be a close game with the defense. Jalen Warren, remember that name. I think he'll have a breakout game in this on the national stage. Most people don't know about him. They haven't been paying attention to Oklahoma State. Watch him. I think he will be the difference in that game. Obviously, the Oklahoma State's defense, but I think he will be the difference in that one. I think Oklahoma State wins. All right, Pitt and Syracuse. Pitt, they were able to beat Virginia 48-38 to lock up the ACC Coastal Division. Kenny Pickett, 344 touchdowns and two interceptions. Vincent Davis ran for 100 yards. Jordan Addison, one of the top receivers in the country, 14 catches, 202 receiving yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns at 509 total yards. They kick return for a touchdown and 5 sacks defensively. Syracuse, big game for them. If they want to get to a bowl game, they have to win. They are 5-6. They have not looked good late. They didn't look good against NC State. They lost 41-17. Garrett Schroeder was 8 of 20 for 63 yards and a pick. He did run for 70 yards and a touchdown. Sean Tucker, one of the top running backs in the country, ran for 105 and a touchdown. Michael Jones, 12 tackles, 1 sack, and 2.5 tackles for loss. This could go Syracuse way if Garrett Schroeder can do anything good passing. They have a running game that can maybe keep up with Pitt, but I don't think they will. I think Pitt wins, and actually kind of wins pretty big. All right, Clemson and South Carolina. Clemson, they beat Wake Forest 48-27. They actually have a chance to play for the ACC championship game. If Clemson, their division games are done, if Wake Forest loses and NC State wins, no, if Wake Forest loses and NC State loses, then Clemson is in. So they have to root for whoever NC State is playing, which is North Carolina. But they still have a chance. They were able to beat Wake Forest pretty soundly, 48-27. DJ Uiagalelei wasn't great passing. 208, 1 touchdown and pick. Kobe Pace, though, ran for 191 and 2 touchdowns. Will Shipley ran for 112 and 2 touchdowns. Bo Collins, 4 catches, 137 and a touchdown at 543 total yards. They turn over 3 times. They can't do that. They forced 3 turnovers. They had 7 sacks, which is what slowed down that Wake Forest offense. South Carolina actually got a big win. They got to bowl eligibility, beating Auburn 21-17. Jason Brown, 157, 3 touchdown passes and an interception. I had this sneaking suspicion. I think South Carolina will beat Clemson. They've been very inconsistent. Even on offense, they kind of have been. But Clemson, I think last week showed me something. Their quarterback play has to get better. But it seems like their running game might be able to get going. Do you think they will beat South Carolina? But I'm going to put them on a bit of an upset alert here. All right, Kentucky and Louisville. This could be a shootout. Kentucky destroyed New Mexico State 56-16. Will Levis 419, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Chris Rodriguez ran for 119 and a touchdown. Wanda Robinson 8 catches, 181. They had 707 total yards, but they turned over 4 times. They cannot do that against Louisville. Louisville will exploit it and destroy them. They had a pick 6 as well. Louisville, Malik Cunningham may put himself, if he comes back next season, may put himself up for a Heisman chance next season. They killed Duke 62-22. Malik Cunningham 303, 5 touchdown passes, and ran for 224 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. They had 687 total yards of offense, with 27 yards coming from him and 7 touchdowns. I think he's the difference. I think Louisville wins, and I think it'll be pretty high scoring. But I think Louisville wins, sets them up for next year and for a Heisman campaign if Malik Cunningham decides to return to school. All right, Tulane and Memphis. Tulane, they beat USF 45-14. Michael Pratt 311, 3 touchdowns. Ty J. Spears ran for 111 and 2 touchdowns. They had 501 total yards and 5 sacks from their defense. Memphis, big game for them. They are trying to get to a bowl game. They lost 31-13 to Houston. Seth Hennigan 208, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Calvin Austin 5 catches, 103. This will be an interesting game. Don't look at the record for Tulane. They've been playing with a lot of people. They can put up points. They can very well beat Memphis. I think the motivation will lean towards Memphis in this game, trying to get to a bowl game. So I do think Memphis wins. All right, Notre Dame and Stanford. Notre Dame blanked Georgia Tech 55-0. Jack Cohn 285 and 2 touchdowns at 514 total yards. Defensively, it's 6 sacks and an interception return for a touchdown and a fumble return for a touchdown. Stanford, they got killed by Cal 41-11. Tanner McKee 239, 2 interceptions. Stanford has been terrible this year. Notre Dame has been really good over the last 3 or 4 games. I think they are again, and they have an outside shot of getting into the college football championship. I think Notre Dame wins this big. All right, Nevada and Colorado State. Nevada lost in a fun thriller in triple overtime against Air Force. They lost though 41-39. Carson Strong 351, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Romeo Dubs 11 catches, 159 and 2 touchdowns, put him over 1,000 yards. Torrey Horton 8 catches, 105. Sam Hammond 11 tackles. Colorado State lost a fun shootout to Hawaii. They lost though 50-45. Todd Centio 527, 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Dante Wright 8 catches, 150 and a touchdown. They had 651 total yards, but turned over 3 times in that one. Jack Howell had 11 tackles and a tackle for loss. This could be another high-scoring game, but I think it will end up in the hands of Nevada. If they turn over 3 times, Nevada will also put up 50 points, and I think Nevada will win the game. All right, BYU and USC, big game for USC. They need to win the last 2 games to become bowl eligible. BYU, they got past Georgia Southern 34-17. Jaron Hall passed for 312 and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Adio ran for 136 and a touchdown. They had 507 total yards. Offensively, USC put up 33 points against UCLA, but they lost 62-33. Jackson Dart 325, a touchdown, 2 picks. Gary Bryant 9 catches, 161 and a touchdown. Connor Magai 14 tackles and a half tackle for loss. BYU's look too good on offense this year. USC has the talent. They could maybe beat them and keep their hopes alive for a bowl game, but I don't think they will. I think actually BYU will end up winning. In the final game of Saturday night, Cal and UCLA. Cal, if they win out, they could go to a bowl game. They actually beat Stanford 41-11. Chase Garbers 250 passing, 2 touchdowns, ran for 59 yards. Brooks ran for 131. Trevon Clark 3 catches, 135 and a touchdown. They actually had 636 total yards of offense with 352 coming on the ground. Nate Regina had 10 tackles. UCLA and Dorian Thompson-Robinson did whatever they wanted against USC, beating them 62-33. DTR 349, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, ran for 46 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Zach Charbonnet ran for 167 and a touchdown. Casimir Allen 3 catches, 115, 2 receiving touchdowns, and a kick return for a touchdown. They had 609 total yards there. Mitchell Gude 10 tackles and a tackle for loss. Maybe Cal can keep it kind of close there to keep their bowl hopes alive. I'm not sure they will, though. I'm going to UCLA wins that rivalry game, and it was kind of big. So those are my picks for primetime. Check out my other picks later on all my different other videos later. Peace.